Alright, so taking a look at this second layer macro, you can see the overall draw for price at sell side has now been met. So we've taken out 19602. We have formed a 1 minute bullish uni. However, I would like to see this 5 minute fair value gap get inverse to show a shift in market structure on at least a 5 minute time frame, because we could very easily continue for bearish price action. And we're going to have this 15-minute bearish gap as well that we're going to trade back into. So considering we don't trade into the 15-minute bearish or the 5, and we do have this lower time frame model here, but still I wouldn't want to take longs as of yet, because we haven't built any structure around this level just yet. So I'm not going to be taking longs off this 1 minute bullish gap. We've not shown any signs that we're disrespecting bearish PD rays after taking sell side. So at least I would like to see this 5 minute bearish get inversed, and then we can look for an entry on the 1 minute time frame for longs. But yeah, I know a lot of you are going to be considering taking longs off this 1 minute bullish gap, because we have taken sell side and we've somewhat displaced higher. I'm not going to personally be taking this, because the whole morning all we've actually seen is bullish PD rays just getting disrespected, and we have inversed on the 4-hour time frame. Let me take a look at the weekly, and we also have the overall draw. So we've met the first draw, but the overall draw is still going to be 19,346. So I'm not going to be taking a 1 minute bullish fair value gap when all we've seen is obviously bearish price action so far. So we want to see a 5 minute bearish fair value gap get inversed, but that does mean that we're going to be trading back into the 15 minute as well. So the only way we can actually trade this is waiting for price to build some structure around this level. Taking out this short-term low is preferably what I want to see. Once we've built some structure around this level, then we can look for longs. But whether price moves off this 1 minute bullish gap, I'm not really too interested in this at all. So I'm going to be sitting out of this one. So this trade will most likely get ran through. This is the reason why I'm not taking this. Let me check the chat quickly, see what everyone's saying. Can you explain why we wait for the macros and why we look for our entries to be inside of macros? So the reason why we wait for all of our entries to be inside of macros is simply due to the fact that we have this inject of liquidity inside of macros, and it also narrows it down a lot. Instead of monitoring price throughout the whole day, you then look for your executions between a specific window. So I wouldn't be surprised if this 1 minute bearish actually gets respected. We push towards short-term low. This will get disrespected. But we look for our entries inside of macros simply due to the fact, because instead of monitoring loads of different points of the day, we only monitor specific time frames and times of the day when price is actually high probability. So during the first day of macro, it's usually the most volatile, the second day of macro as well, and they all perform differently. So the lunch macro is usually a run on stops. So when we do monitor lunch, we like to see a run on stops. So during the lunch macro, we'd expect price for longs, and we can target a retracement of the move from the AM session. But when you look for your entry specifically inside of macro, it tends to be a lot more high probability than entering at a random point of the day, such as 8:30. Yeah, every bearish PD ray so far has just been getting respected, so I would not be surprised, we respect this 1 minute bearish. I want to see price take out this short-term low. It could get taken out on ES, that will give us a bullish SMT, but right now we don't have any SMTs. We have a pretty weak, that's a strong displacement, but we're just trading back up into other bearish gaps to get respected and then just continue lower. So I at least want to see this 5 minute bearish fair value gap get inversed and build some structure around this level. So the second day of macro, to be honest, after we see this move, usually 80% of the time, as you guys remember, that trade that we took, was it on Wednesday? So we took a trade inside of second AM on Wednesday, and it was very, very slow. So that's what I expect for this macro to be somewhat slow, where we consolidate around sell side, and then during lunch we actually get that opportunity for longs. And that's what I'm expecting as of now. So I'm not going to try force a very poor long opportunity, which will get ran through. We can build some structure around this level, and then during lunch we actually get the opportunity. So 50% of this range here would put us around this area for price. Guys, did you see the news about Thailand? It's good I left, isn't it? Because one of the buildings has actually fully collapsed. I don't know if it was being built or whether it was already built and people were living in there, but that's crazy. Because I know quite a few people who are still out in Thailand and still living there. I don't know why they're living there, honestly. It does not make sense to me. But they had a crazy earthquake over the past couple of days. And one of the buildings actually collapsed, which is pretty insane. Okay, so we're pushing out of this 1 minute bullish gap. We're starting to see a displacement higher. If we do get a bullish fair value gap, we have built some more structure. This is a failed displacement for price. So a failed displacement means that we've respected this bearish gap. We're going to go towards short-term low. Someone said big earthquake in Myanmar. Is that in Thailand? Yeah, that's why I don't stay out in Thailand. I mean, you just get stupid shit such as earthquakes. The weather's really unpredictable as well. Sometimes it would be overly hot, and there's no benefits to do with Thailand at all. The women, poor, food, disgusting. The air quality is also really bad as well. People don't understand how important air quality is for your skin. Yeah, I know that I smoke, right? But when it comes to air quality, actually over a long period of time, breathing in petrol fumes and shit is not healthy environment to be living in. So you want to make sure that you're in the best location possible. Miami's air quality is decent. It's obviously not the best. It's not going to be as a place like Guatemala where you're living in the mountains with trees and everything. However, the air quality in Thailand is very, very bad. And your skin starts to go grey simply due to the bad food. It's a lot of greasy food over there as well. Yeah, so this is exactly what I expect for this second day macro, to be more of a consolidation period where we can see price accumulate around this area. Yeah, so we're starting to draw towards that previous short-term low here. Just respecting every bearish PD array all the way towards that point of short-term low. Literally all the way since the first day of macro, and since the London session, every bearish point has been getting respected. So there's no reason to expect a 1 minute bullish to hold. That would simply just be that the fact you'll be deluded to think that a 1 minute bullish is going to hold. Okay, so we've just taken out that short-term low for price, built some more structure around this level. We've seen a minor sweep of sell side now. So now we've built some more solid structure around this level. If we did see that displacement higher after taking out that short-term low, that does give us a bullish SMT as well on ES. So I like to see a displacement higher as of now on NQ. And if we do get that, I will be taking longs from this point. So the original sweep of sell side has now been taken out. It's also given us a bullish SMT on ES. So if we get a displacement from this point here, then that's going to be my preference to take longs as of now. Yeah, so this second day macro, most likely we're not going to be taking any trades. It's definitely going to be most likely a consolidation period where price is not going to do much for around 30 minutes to about an hour. And then once we dive into that lunch macro at 11:45, then we should start to see that clean opportunity. And if we create some sort of 5 minute bullish structure, then we can obviously trade out of the 1 minute time frame. And if we get a clean opportunity for longs, then obviously it would be a lot cleaner to take. If we do displace higher very cleanly as of now, I am going to be taking this without any second thoughts. And then we can look to target these previous highs. So 706 and also 727 and possibly even this high as well. It is around 160 points away. So we're most likely just going to target this previous high and this previous high. So just minor points of buy side. Okay, so we got a lower time frame bullish S&T frame Q. So if we displace higher as of now, then this would be a clean opportunity for longs. If not, then no worries. Someone said not longing that falling knife. Yeah, that's correct. I mean, the only way we can look for longs out of this scenario, that is the correct thought process, looking for longs as of now. We have swept sell side and the overall draw on the weekly is still bearish. So we have to be very careful in looking for longs. We want to see price build a lot of structure, such as 5 minute and 15 minute bullish gaps, and we can trade out of that to target obviously other points of minor buy side and retracement inside a lunch macro. But yeah, you're correct. Taking longs as of now is very dangerous, and expecting a 1 minute bullish to hold up when we have 4 hour and weekly bearish gaps is not something, you always want to look at the higher time frame than the lower time frame. But I've actually just booked a flight to the UK. I haven't been back to the UK in 6 months. 6 months since I was in Koh Samui, so I don't know how, that's been about 5 months now. But yeah, I'm flying on the 5th. Flying back to London on the 5th. Go back to London for a week and a half. I still have this penthouse in Miami and everything, but I'm just going to go back for a week and a half, see what everyone's saying, and then fly back here. It's been a little while since I've been back to the UK. It's one of those places, it's like you want to go see it, and then as soon as you land, after like a few days, you want to get back out. But I haven't been there for a long time, so I want to go back, see everything, and then get the fuck out of there straight away. Because for those of you in the UK, you completely understand what I'm saying. So that's quite an important question, to be honest. And how much do I pay for my accountant per month? I pay around $750. That's around the exact figure I pay, and that comes out every single month. They manage all of the accounts, all the way from, the income I make from other businesses as well, because I do run another business that I haven't told you guys about. And I was going to keep it more private because some people are against the business model, but I have been running that type of business for around 7 months now. And then the other business which I have is obviously property, which I've spoke to you guys about a lot as well. How much a month? $750. $750 is how much I pay a month for my accountant. But yeah, they manage all of the income streams that I currently have, and it just takes the weight off my shoulders. I don't have to submit any QuickBooks or do anything myself. Just get the professionals to do it. Otherwise, we're going to have some serious issues. And back 2 years ago, I actually had a really big issue with the UK and a tax problem, which I suddenly managed to get out of. What's the other business? I don't know if I should say. I mean, it's not even that bad, to be honest. It's just like some people are religious, so it's against the religion. But basically, the business model that I have is a OnlyFans management business where I manage around 3 to 4 women. It's going up to 4, but I manage 3 at the moment. And they're from Colombia. And I manage their social media, optimizing their social media, 50-50 cuts, and they're on contract base where I scale their OnlyFans. So the best way to start, I mean, if any of you guys are interested in that sort of business model, but the best way to do it is to go directly to the source, but understand the business model first. And you have to approach these women. You can't just say, look, I'm going to make you money, because if you don't know what you're doing, then they're not going to take you serious. But if you approach them in a way where you build that personal connection, a little bit of a relationship with them, and then you can approach and show, look, we can do this and you can have this type of lifestyle, then that's the best way to approach it. And the business model in itself is very, very simple. You just have to create engaging content and tell her, I need you to do this, this and that, and you manage the account and everything. And in the end, you can actually hire people to manage the support side of things as well, because I don't really like to do the messaging on the accounts, because you do get a lot of weird men, obviously, on the OnlyFans accounts, and you actually just pay someone around $10 an hour from Bangladesh, and they just go back and forth texting in and out, and that gets you obviously the income way higher, because I don't have time to do that. So I pay, there's a few expenses for the business that you can do there as well. But yeah, mostly scaling the social media. You can either find a woman obviously from Colombia, or you can find Venezuelan, or you can find Russian, Slovakia, whatever makes sense for your personal preference. Colombia for me performs the best. And yeah, that's the business model. I've not told you guys about it before, and I've not told anyone on social media. How much can you make from managing that? So the first female that I started with in Colombia, she was making already doing this business model around $2,000 a month, and I've scaled her to 50, and we're doing 50-50 cuts. So already she's making 23k a month more than she was previously making, just from working with me and scaling her social media. And that's obviously the approach that you have. You show, look, I've worked with this female before, she's received this type of results, this is how we're going to do it, this is the overall approach, would you be down to do it? Then you get them to sign a basically contract. Once they sign the contract, then they're basically a part of your agency, and that's pretty much it. Okay, we're starting to see a displacement higher. So this is a mitigation block paired with this displacement. I am interested in this, by the way. We don't want to get too carried away with talking about this business model, because this is the main business that makes the money here. But as you guys can see, once I am done trading in the morning, I need to make more money, you know? There's always more money to make. So I ended up creating a second business, which takes up majority of my day, where I manage these women and manage their social media, etc., and other things. Because trading only takes up around 2 to 3 hours of my day. So I like to occupy the rest of the day with managing investments and one other business as well. So if we get a fair value gap here, guys, I am going to look to take this. We are towards the end of the second day of macro. I'm going to look for longs, so we can target this point of buy side. Let me see the stop placement on this. So we have a good stop placement. Displacement candles low. I'm going to run it at 23 handles, which is going to be my stop. I'll look for an entry off this 1 minute bullish gap. I'm going to target this previous high for 54 handles. So that'll be a clean 1 to 2.5 risk to reward. So I'm going to look to take this bullish gap, guys. I'm going to look for longs of this 1 minute bullish gap. Clean displacement higher. Let's see whether we get an entry on this. Okay, I'm long off that, guys. Stop is at 573. And then our TP is at 4850. Let's see how this trade plays out. We've seen price accumulate around this area, and now we've seen that sharp displacement higher, which was exactly what we're looking for. That's a clean displacement, energetic move in price. So we should start to see price push off this 1 minute bullish gap go towards these previous highs. Once we do take this high, then I'm going to move my stops towards break even. So this is our point of break even on this trade. So once that level does get taken, then that's when we can start to move our stops here. So if ES takes that point of buy side before NQ, then obviously we're going to close out fully. But this is the overall draw, which is going to be this point of buy side on NQ and ES. So once we take this short-term high, I'm going to move my stops towards short-term low at 591. Yeah, so once we do take this short-term high on NQ, we should see price accelerate higher towards that point of break even. So this short-term high, this is when we move our stops to 590.75. Okay, so once we take that short-term high, our new stop placement for trailing it is going to be 8775. So once price draws towards this previous short-term high, that's when we trail our stops to this short-term low for price. Once we take this point, then we go towards break even, and then we should start to see an acceleration towards that point of minor buy side on NQ. Okay, so move your stops to 8775. So now we're not risking a lot. Our stop placement is only 7 handles. In fact, I'm going to put my stops towards break even on this one. It's risk free. I don't like the way price reacted on that short-term high. So if we get taken out of this, then we get taken out. Yeah, break even on this one, guys. Price took out that short-term high, immediately came back. Still respecting that 1 minute bearish to the left. So that was a break-even trade there. It's not a problem. Break-even trade inside of the second AM. We gave longs a go, and we ended up getting break-even on this one. Okay, so we're at the end of the second AM macro here. So the only thing we're going to do now is obviously wait for this lunch macro. We'll see if we get a clean opportunity during lunch. And that's pretty much it. So let's wait towards this lunch macro at 11:45. We get a clean opportunity, then this will be the last macro we do monitor today, which will be the lunch. And in around 15 minutes time, then I will unmute my mic. But yeah, risk well managed. We're currently break even on the day, and we're up around 55 handles on the week. So very, very good stuff indeed. So 3 weeks ago, we had one winning week. Then last week, it was just below break even. And then this week, we're up around 55 handles, which is very good stuff indeed.